Hey there, Heroes of Lore. My name is Ray, and welcome back to Adventure Quest Worlds. Today we're going to be taking a look at a class called CHAOS Avenger, which has been out for a little over a year and a half now. Now, when you think about AQW, there is a certain set group of meta classes, the likes of Void High Lord, Legion Revenant, Lord of Order, Archmage now, which is a new class. You have Arch Paladin, and you have the likes of Stonecrusher, and in that batch you have CHAOS Avenger. Now, CHAOS Avenger is a solo tier class, and we're going to go into the details of it in this video. I'm going to show you how to farm it. I'm going to go over a bit of the class and where it's good, what kind of composition it works in, especially when it comes to ultra bosses. And we're also going to take a look at if it's worth farming or not. And if you want to spend your time farming, how long it takes and all that stuff. So, stay tuned for that after the intro in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we are in the Champion Jakath map. Now, you'll have a NPC over here, which is basically a clone of your character, and you'll have a CHAOS Avenger option. And here is the class quest. Now, the quest is not available for me because I've already farmed the class. As you can see, I have it equipped. So we're going to head over to the wiki, and I'm going to show you each individual item and how to farm it really quick. We're not going to spend too much time on it, so we can get into a bit of the class breakdown, where it's good to be used, and if it's worth spending time to farm for. Okay, wiki time. So, this is kind of a second resort. I wish I could show it in-game, but we're on the wiki. So this is the class quest. The first item you're going to need is a Parallel Chaos Amulet. Now I'm going to hop back into AQW and show you really quick what that is. So back in the game with your character, under the weekly quest option, you'll have Champion Jakath, which is basically a weekly quest where you have to take down Champion Jakath. Now, this room here is capped to only 4 players, and you need the right class composition to take down Champion Jakath. Now, the meta to take down Champion Jakath right now is essentially Void High Lord for DPS, Lord of Order, Archmage, or excuse me, Arch Paladin for heals, and a Stonecrusher. That's typically the 4 classes that you need, and you need somebody who's taunting, and you need scrolls. And you need good timing for the intervals of Champion Jakath's nukes when he unleashes a nuke in terms of using the scroll and everything like that. So, this is the weekly quest. You have to do this quest, no surprise, 4 times, which is 4 weeks, which is a month. A lot of classes that have daily farms and stuff like that will have like a whole month worth of, daily or weekly quests. So, Champion Jakath Insignia, you need these, you need 20 of these, and you only get 5 per week, so, it makes sense, 5 times 4. And this will be in the merge shop. You want to merge the Parallel Chaos Amulet, which will be 20 Jakath Insignia, okay? So let's head back over to the wiki. The next item you're going to need is a Fragment of the Dragon. Now, the Fragment of the Dragon is really easy. /join Chaos Lord. So in /join Chaos Lord, if you've played the Chaos Saga, this will be basically the 13th Lord of Chaos. And spoiler alert, Lord of Chaos is you. And you have to fight. Now, this is a room where you can only have 1 person, and you want to get the right class to, because the drop rate for this you only need 1 fragment of the dragon, but the drop rate is kind of low. I killed this thing almost 100 times before I got it. So you want a class that's good soloing. What comes to mind is Eternal Chronomancer, or even in this case CHAOS Avenger, but you're farming for CHAOS Avenger, so you wouldn't have it in the first place, so yeah. Or Void High Lord or something like that. Now, over back to the wiki. The next item you're going to need is Fragment of Mount Doomskull. Essentially, /join Mount Doomskull. And once you're here, I'll assume that you've already done the event. Click on Lore Master Maya and click on top of the mountain. And essentially, you can use any of the rooms to kill the monsters. You basically just need to farm these monsters in here. But the easiest room to farm the monsters is going to be, my apologies for the music, the easiest room to farm the monsters is going to be over here, in this room right here. Because these guys are typically easier to kill, they don't have that much health. You can basically like one-shot all of them. So this is the room I recommend that you farm for 1300, but each monster drops multiple fragments of Mount Doomskull at a time. Okay, so moving right along, the next 2 things you're going to need are Fragments of Lords A and Fragments of Lords B. This is really easy. Essentially, you're going to go and kill every single Chaos Lord. Back in the merge shop on the Champion Drakath map, these are the two things you need to turn. Now, you'll notice that basically you need to get each Chaos Lord's armor drop. Now, the drop rates for them are not high, but they're also not low. It shouldn't take you too long. For like Ashurion, it took me like 20 minutes to get his robe, but like then all the other drops just kept coming and coming. Like I spent like less than 5 minutes on all of them. So it's really RNG, but you know, doing these 2 fragments of Chaos Lords shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take more than half an hour. It's really easy to get this stuff. The final thing you're going to need is the Fragment of the Queen. Now you do need to do the event to access this boss, but the Fragment of the Queen is dropped by, no surprise, the Queen of Monsters. Now the map for the Queen of Monsters is going to be in /join transformation. Now, in this map, you'll have to do a bit of walking. I wish that Drakath here had a fast travel to the boss. I don't know why he doesn't, so I'm going to speed this part up. Okay, so here's the Queen of Monsters. The health is a bit high. You kind of want to have a party of people. Now the thing is with the... I had a full party, so we were killing it like every 2 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. And basically the drop rate for the Fragments of the Queen are also a bit low. It really depends on RNG, and the whole point of farming drops that are low is making sure that you're killing the boss as fast as possible, so you could have more opportunities to get the drop. If you kill this monster slowly, it's going to take forever. So get a party together, use the Discord link down below, and grab some people to help you out. Overall, to get all 13 fragments, it took me 15 minutes or so, so not that bad. So as you can see, the farm itself is pretty easy. Now, when it comes to how long it took to farm for CHAOS Avenger, is it worth your time? That's the question of the video today. Now, there are a lot of multi-target classes out there, farming classes. Legion Revenant is like pretty much the hallmark of farming classes, but now with the release of Archmage, that class has actually sort of overtaken Legion Revenant in terms of cooldowns, so it's a bit better in that department. But when it comes to CHAOS Avenger, this is an excellent soloing class. Now, if you exclude the weekly farming quests for CHAOS Avenger, the farm for this class took me about a day to do everything, and I didn't do it in one sitting. I did it in a couple different sittings in one day. So it's a really easy farm. Put on a Spotify playlist. You're getting a meta tier class. The skill animations are amazing. So the question, this is probably one of the first classes you should farm for actually, because it's not that hard of a farm. If you finish the Chaos Saga, go ahead and do this. And not to mention, you also get a character page badge under Epic Hero, which under Epic Hero you get your badge for completing stuff like Void High Lord farm, Legion Revenant farm, and that kind of stuff. The really hard endgame tier farms for AQW. So now, the last thing I want to go over real quick is the skills of the class, and we'll go over it really quick. I'm not doing an in-depth class breakdown. There's other videos out there for that, but essentially, each of these skills is 50 mana. So when you look at this initially, it's like, oh my god, the mana cost for this class is ridiculous. There's no way that this can be viable. By the way, side note, your enhancements for this class, you're going to want to be using full luck for best possible DPS. Now, this class is also seen as a tanky DPS class, although the DPS is a bit toned back. Now, this class relies on its auto attack so much. Let's say you use your first skill here, 50 mana. You're gonna need to click on the auto attack, not rely on it to automatically dispense. Let's head over to Pirates here, which is like an OG map for class breakdowns, and we'll head over to the fish boss or the captain boss real quick, and I'll just demonstrate it really fast here. So essentially, this is not really a good example because they're really low on health, but as you can see, my mana dropped to 50, and when I auto attack, it goes back up. Now, your auto attack is basically a few buffs on you, but what's most important is your first skill, which stacks up to 8. and that first skill is going to impact your 5th skill, which relies on your stacks. Your 3rd skill is essentially a bunch of debuffs, and your 4th skill is your heals. Now, this class is not like any other. You don't really need to have a specific rotation. You can actually play this class however you want. As long as you keep using your auto attack, you can go for debuffs, you can go for heals, you can stack your first ability over and over again, and then use your 5th skill. But essentially, you want to always rotate to your auto attack after using a skill, right? So here I'm stacking my first ability, and let's say we stack it one more time, and let's use the auto attack one more time, and let's hit our 5th skill. So yeah, class animations, by the way, are fantastic on this, but this is essentially a really overview of the class. I didn't go into detailed statistics and what kind of debuffs and percentages and all this kind of stuff. This class is also quite good in PvP, but there's a lot of counters to it. It can easily be countered with dodge classes and chrono classes, calendar classes. So this is a very good soloing class. In fact, this is probably going to be my main soloing class from here on out, because it's just really good in that department. So I hope that answers your questions. This class, Chaos Avenger, is definitely worth farming for. It's one of the easier farms in the meta group of classes to farm in AQW, so I highly recommend it. You now know how to farm, you now know that it's good, and you now know how much time it takes to farm it at my leisurely pace. I'm known for farming AQW items at a very leisurely pace. Like, I have to be in the mood to farm, or else I will not farm, or I'll give up really quick. So that's it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. If it was, leave me a comment down below and like the video. Don't forget to join the AQW community Discord and follow me over on Twitter. Those links will be down below in the description. And as always, battle on. Have a great day.